Back in January, from Copart, I bought this MINI JCW. It was a non-runner. I have taken so many parts off it. We've cleaned the engine up. We put it all back together again, but it still won't start. I'm still finding faults along the way.
That has just come out and I don't even know where that piece has come from.
This one is blocked. It's now time to see if we can finally get this car started for the first time.
Doesn't want it. Oh my god! Oh my god, it's winning! I've just tried 3 or 4 times and it's finally got going. It's finally got going! Oh my days! Okay, that doesn't sound great.
So after the excitement of starting the car for the very first time, but then getting out to hearing that horrendous noise, I shut the car down as soon as possible. I wasn't sure if I'd done something wrong within, so I just closed it down, put the OBD reader on, and those 2 faults that you see on screen right now, they keep coming back to haunt me all the way throughout this video. So after the disastrous start last night, I had a little think about it, and the noise was quite rattly. So we're going to go and have a look if it can be anything to do with the timing chain and how I've set that up. First things first, I'm going to try and get it back into its timing position and see if that's still working all right. Now, after sleeping on it overnight, I decided to take the rocker cover off. The noise I couldn't pinpoint, so I wanted to make sure that the timing chain and the cams and everything lined up properly. So I put the timing tool back in the bottom, we locked the pin in, we put the cam locks on, made sure all of them were okay, and then put the rocker cover back on again, ready to go. As you can see, everything's there, is lined up well. Rocker cover went back on, and we give it another go. Still comes back. Now at this point, I then went even further and took the oil pan off and the oil pump off and checked the conrod bearings to make sure that they were still all in one piece. But again, when we started up, same result.
Oh, it's back again. Back again.
So at this point, I've already checked the timing chain. I've checked everything lines up. I've now checked the bottom end again just to make sure nothing was going wrong there. So I'll put it all back together again. We've started it. That noise, I can almost see that it's coming from one side, or can hear that it's coming from one side. But I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Until that is.
After me worrying so much about building this engine and thinking that I'd done something wrong, obviously with it being a first build, as you do, it might turn out, I'm going to try it in a minute, to be something that's failed. Because that noise seems to be coming from there. So I'm going to whack that belt off and see if that's what's happening. It works. It works. And it's not making a knocking noise, which I thought was either pistons or bearings coming off the bottom. I don't know if it's perfect. I don't know. But it started. This is the reason why I spent, or hopefully this is the reason that made me spend most of Saturday and Sunday stripping the top, stripping the bottom, checking the piston rings, checking the timing chain, and it all could be over a belt tensioner. We're about to find out. So at this point, I'm just trying to get along and eliminate things. I know it's got a new water pulley on there. It's a brand new alternator. I've now changed the belt tensioner to see if that makes any difference. However, upon the next start again, it comes back. Yeah, that's right. It's starting to do me head in now. So many things have been round. It's definitely not the engine. For some reason, that auxiliary belt is bouncing. So the new belt tensioner didn't work. Something along that line of where the belt goes isn't right. The only things that I haven't replaced now is the AC compressor. The water pulley's changed. It's a brand new alternator. The pulley I've just tried to change still made the same noise. The only thing I haven't tried to change is the AC compressor. And the AC compressor that came off sounds like this. Doesn't sound great. Okay, this is the one that I've just taken off the black Cooper S that I've got. Much more silent. Only difference being now, they're both exactly the same, Sandon. However, the difference is in, let me show you that way, the size of the wheel, size of the pulley, 10mm difference. But I'm going to try it because I've tried everything else. And that's knackered anyway. And it's my only option now. I'm running out of options. So I'm going to try it, see if it makes any difference whatsoever, and go from there. So I fitted the air compressor and we started that again. And you've guessed it, the same noise came back again. The only thing that I hadn't changed that wasn't new was the crank pulley. And when I took the crank pulley off, this is what I was met with. Now, the rubber inside is a harmonic balancer. That's perished. So I got a new one. However, I didn't record it and I put that on and that made all of the difference. It finally stopped banging. So, bumper is on. I'm going to stick the wheel arch liners in. This is a for MOT tomorrow morning, if it drives out of the garage. If it drives out of the garage, guys. I have no idea yet. I haven't tried the gearbox. So there we go. A K&N washable high flow engine air filter. So we're not cheaped out on it. However, still need to get the engine right because it's not quite running right, which is annoying, but that's in. I have been chasing a fault on this car for 2 weeks now. It's pointing to the Vanos solenoid, of which I've stripped the car down so many times. And we've checked the timing. We've checked the bearings on the pistons. Literally, I've checked everything. And it's still coming up with a Vanos solenoid problem. Well, it's not coming up, it's coming up with a camshaft problem. Retarded. So I'm at a loss really as to what the problem is.
Now at this point I turned to the donor car, which has become the black Cooper S, and I took the cylinder head off that because I thought I might need to try and interchange things. I might need to use that in a way. However, I found there was a load of bent exhaust valves on that one. But what I did find is a bolt underneath the Vanos solenoid, which I hadn't noticed on the other cylinder head.
So the story goes, I have put this back together again and it runs, but it comes up with P00A fault and P0012, which is to do with camshaft retarded, running slow. The ECU is telling me that the camshaft isn't up to speed. And so on this, it had wear within the cam journals, cam caps in the head itself. So I'm thinking it's causing a loss of oil pressure. The camshaft isn't responding quick enough. So I'm at the point now where it's all back together, it's holding fluids, it runs, but it doesn't run great.
So after repeatedly getting this message coming back, with the two faults that keep coming back, I thought I'd take out the camshaft, the intake camshaft, and replace that with the one in the black Mini, because it keeps saying that there's a problem with the oil and there's not enough oil coming through, which throws up a Vanos solenoid problem. So it's trying to say to me that it's not getting enough oil pumped around, but I've changed the oil pump on the bottom. I've changed so many things. There was problems within the camshafts when I got it off, and within the heads because it had a lot of debris thrown through it. So I thought one of the last choices that I've got to make is changing that camshaft. We'll go again and see if that makes any difference. It's 8:30 on a Sunday morning. Today is a brand new day. Over the past few weeks, I've had little niggles with the JCW that we got, which was affectionately renamed Snowy by my little man. He did call it Snowball at first, and the missus quite liked Snowball. However, I've worked on him over the past few weeks, and he now has a different name. So this, everybody, is Richard. Also, because Richard is quite long, he's also known as Dick. And Dick has a problem with his head. And this cylinder head, although I've rebuilt it back together, and this, as we know, was a salvage car from Copart, it had a blown head gasket problem. And so I don't really know the history of what's gone on, how overheated it's been. I don't really know anything as to what's happened with it. I just know it had a blown head gasket, coolant in the oil. Everything went wrong. Anyway, we've rebuilt this. However, I keep getting two fault codes, P00A, P0012, and it's to do with the camshaft, and it's to do with slow response, and it's to do with it being retarded. So Dick has had a new intake camshaft put on. So we're going to find out today if that will get rid of these faults. Highly unlikely, but you never know.
Richard, aka Dick, is getting put back together again right now. But again, just like that, with the magic of YouTube. 3, 2, 1, and we're done.
After turning the car over again, those two faults still came back. So after a little bit more investigation, I finally found something.
And in here.
So where the Vanos solenoid sits, underneath that is a Vanos supply bolt. That black piece of plastic, I pushed that up, that was wedged in the oil gallery.
It needs to come out. From within the oil gallery, underneath the Vanos solenoid, that has just come out, and I don't even know where that piece has come from, but it landed on the rag. This was actually in the oil gallery. Now it looks like it should have been a sleeve, but oh my days. Now I'm hoping that's the reason for the camshaft retarded problems. So, because I think I had something stuck in the oil gallery, which you can't see a great deal of. There's a little hole in there. Yeah. So I could tell that there was something stuck in there, but I didn't realise that existed. I've just gone in there on that with this. I've managed to get it in there, and it pushes up through that oil gallery. And what came out of that oil gallery, don't know where this plastic bit came from, it just landed on the rag. This came out of the oil gallery, which I gather is an insert, I think. However, the bolts that I've taken out, and this is the one off this cylinder head, which came off the black Mini. So just for reference, you can see through that hole. There's a little ball bearing at the end there, which does push up and down. However, this one is blocked, full of plastic, So I'm hoping. So this is the reason why I keep getting me faults. We'll clean this out, see if we can clean this out. If not, I'll use the one that I've just taken off this cylinder head, put that in, see if we can get these faults cleared, see if it will run of its own accord without any faults. Okay, so after finding that bolt that had a Vanos supply bolt, apparently, as you can see, it's absolutely full, all right, with melted plastic, and I've dug a little bit out of there, but that is not coming out. This was in the oil gallery. Two faults I was getting, P0012, P000A. I am now hoping that that was causing my problems, and this, can you see better now? Yes. So this bolt goes in there. There's an oil gallery from there that goes down to there. That sleeve right there was stuck in the oil gallery, and I think that is what was causing all my problems. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that's what was causing all my problems. Right, we're going to put this back together again. We're going to go for a start, and we're going to see if we can get rid of them faults. So after finally finding something that looks like it should definitely not be there, at first I thought it was meant to be a sleeve. However, after getting it out of the car and then removing that Vanos supply bolt to be able to push the plastic out through the oil gallery, noticing that the supply bolt was full of it itself. I don't know where it's come from within the engine, but it must have been somehow sucked in there during the heating process. I'm just hoping now when we get this put back together, it finally runs perfect.
How's Daddy doing?
Ready for start. Ready for start to see if it actually runs. It does work. We've had it working, but
Runs without fault.
that's it.
Less serious fault.
Less serious faults, yeah.
When Dad puts the computer in, although the engine has been running for Daddy, and we're driving it, we're telling him that something serious is wrong. Trying to figure it out for weeks now.
Yeah.
And now we think we may have figured it out. It might not have solved it, but we could be figured it out. No, Daddy could have forgotten it.
Now, all of this time, Stan, it's been a pain. Are you going to be the one to press the button? In here. And it'd be the. And you fix it. Right, well, it's okay. Okay, isn't it? Right.
That's the button.
Got a ball in mine. Hang on. Put that in there. Out here. Have you got a lucky finger? No. There's the button.
I got lucky fingers.
Have you got lucky fingers?
Yeah, I got lucky fingers.
The lucky finger bag. No. I need to check codes and stuff. So today is the day, finally. Saturday the 25th of April, 10 o'clock in the morning. I booked it in for an MOT as soon as I could. We have no leaks. There's noises. I think there's problems with maybe a wheel bearing. That's fine. But it's going for its MOT now. And then I know it's going to come back with a big list. Or hopefully a small list of things that need sorting. But the engine is running perfectly. I don't have any issues with it at the moment. So I'm going to go and take it, drop it off for its MOT, pick it up later, find out what kind of defects we've got, and go from there. But I'm excited just with the fact that it's ready to go for an MOT. That's a strange noise. However, just to get to this point has been a slog, but we have got there. Why is there no water coming out of the water jets? Brilliant. Something's not connected. Excellent. It's not looking in its best shape, but I haven't had time to clean it. However, it's now time for it to go for its MOT. So I'm going to drop the keys in and then we're done. So I've just left the Mini at the garage and then I'll go and pick it up after and we will find out how big the spreadsheet is with the defects. Okay, that's it for this time, guys. Join me next week when I'll be revealing the MOT results and hopefully we'll get this car back on the road. Please feel free to leave any comments in the section below. If you've enjoyed watching this video, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.